1971 opened with Marvin Gaye asking, "What's going on?"
What's going on? What's going on?
That same year, the Chi-Lites gave us "Have You Seen Her?"
Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
And Aretha Franklin reimagined Spanish Harlem. From anthems to ballads, these are 10 R&B. And soul songs from 1971 we'll never forget. Number 10, Thin Line Between Love and Hate by the Persuaders.
It's a thin line between love and hate.
A warning wrapped in velvet harmony. 1971, on the Atco label, the Persuaders delivered this slow-burning cautionary tale straight out of New York.
It opened up the door and let me in. Never was.
They were newcomers, but this debut single hit like a veteran's masterpiece. The story: a man neglects his woman's love until that love turns dangerous.
Don't think you can keep breaking your woman's heart.
And that twist, inspired by a real-life tale from songwriter Richard Poindexter's family, it chilled listeners with its truth. You can almost feel the wood-paneled walls of a basement party, incense burning low, when that haunting piano line creeps in. It's seductive and sinister, wrapping a dark message in the smoothest vocals.
It's 5 o'clock.
It climbed to number 1 on the R&B chart and made waves on the Hot 100. But its bigger legacy? From Martin Lawrence's film of the same name to countless covers, it's a reminder: love don't last long when taken for granted. And if that's a cautionary groove, the next one is pure devotion set to wax. Number 9, Let's Stay Together by Al Green. The slow jam that became a wedding vow. Released late in 1971 on High Records, this song saw Al Green team up with producer Willie Mitchell to create a soul ballad so smooth, it felt like silk sliding over your heartbreak.
But you never do.
But here's the twist: Green almost didn't record it. He thought it wasn't strong enough. Thank goodness Mitchell insisted, because when that organ hums and Al hits that falsetto, it feels like time freezes. Imagine a candlelit living room, shag carpet underfoot, and this record spinning as two lovers slow dance with the weight of forever on their shoulders. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts. And decades later, even President Obama crooned it on stage. That's staying power. But if Al brought warmth, the next artist brought a full-on firestorm of social soul. Number 8, What You See Is What You Get by the Dramatics.
What you're looking for is real loving.
The Detroit street anthem dressed in harmony. From the Motor City streets to national radio, the Dramatics broke through in '71 with this funk-soaked truth bomb.
What you see is what you get, is what you get.
Signed to Stax's Volt label, they were coming up under the shadow of the Temptations. But they had their own swagger. And here's a slice of drama. The group had broken up and reformed twice before this song hit.
Some people are made of plastic.
But when that signature "What you see is what you get" chant dropped, everything changed.
What you see is what you get, is what you get. What you see.
It was gritty and real, calling out the fakes and flexing confidence. And with that wah-wah guitar and gospel-tinged harmonies, it felt like the street corner became a stage.
What you see is what you get.
A top 10 R&B hit, it earned them a spot opening for James Brown and carved their name into soul history. We've talked swagger, but the next track is all about unity, pain, and protest in harmony. Number 7, That's the Way I Feel About Cha by Bobby Womack.
That's the way I feel about you.
Where heartbreak wears a cool collar. 1971 was Bobby Womack's breakout moment. Released on United Artists, this track marked his shift from session guitarist and Wilson Pickett's protege to full-blown solo star.
That's the way I feel about you.
But behind the scenes, Womack was grieving. His mentor Sam Cooke had been gone for 7 years, and this was Bobby's tribute in style and spirit. The song's laid-back groove, carried by Memphis horns and that classic Womack rasp, is like a long exhale after a hard day. Soulful, yet streetwise. You can hear the windows down on a summer night ride, this playing on the 8-track, hard heavy, but hopeful. It hit number 2 on the R&B charts and cemented Womack's place among soul's elite. But we're just getting started, because next up, the Queen herself. Number 6, Bridge Over Troubled Water by Aretha Franklin.
I'll take it with
A gospel soul reimagining that redefined a classic. Aretha took Simon and Garfunkel's folk hymn and baptized it in soul. Released by Atlantic Records in 1971, her version wasn't just a cover, it was a reclamation. Recorded live at the Fillmore West, with King Curtis leading the band, Aretha turned every note into a cry, a prayer, a promise. And here's a nugget. Paul Simon himself admitted her rendition blew him away. When the Queen covers your song and makes it the definitive version, you bow down. Picture a church basement or a community hall, fists raised and tears falling as this played on the loudspeaker. That's the power Aretha brought. It won a Grammy and went top 10 R&B. But more than numbers, it gave people hope. If these classics from 1971 are bringing back memories, give this video a thumbs up. It helps us keep the soul alive. And stick around, we've still got 5 more timeless tracks to come. Number 5, Hot Pants, She Got to Use What She Got by James Brown. The funky fashion anthem with a message. The godfather of soul returned in '71 with a groove that was equal parts runway strut and street sermon.
Are you ready for the Super Brother? Are you ready for the Super Brother music for the soul?
Released on People Records, this track wasn't just about style, it was about survival, using what you've got to get what you need. And here's the funk factor. Brown recorded this in one take, live in the studio with the JBs laying down that tight, raw rhythm. You can almost see the Soul Train line forming when that horn riff kicks in. Bell bottoms swaying, afros high, energy electric. It topped the R&B charts for 6 straight weeks and helped solidify funk as the dominant force in black music heading into the 70s. But if this one got you dancing, the next one might just break your heart. Number 4, Have You Seen Her by the Chi-Lites.
Thompson, to tell us about the tune you're about to do.
Well, this time we'd like to do a tune that's sold 2 million copies already, and the name of the tune is titled Have You Seen Her?
A Chicago soul ballad drenched in longing. Coming out of the Windy City on Brunswick Records, the Chi-Lites delivered this heartache masterpiece with lead singer Eugene Record telling a story that felt all too real.
I see her face everywhere I go, on the street and even at the picture show.
What many don't know, the monologue in the middle wasn't planned. It came to record in the studio as he thought of an old flame.
Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
From the first strings to that whispered, "Oh girl," you feel the ache. It's Sunday morning, coffee cold, radio playing in the background as someone stares out the window wondering where love went.
Oh, I see her hand reaching out to me. Only she can set me free.
The song hit #1 R&B and crossed over to pop, proving soul's power to touch everyone. If that was the ache of lost love, this next one is a pure Southern soul salvation. Number 3, Mr. Big Stuff by Gene Knight.
Stuff. Who do you think you are?
The sassiest kiss-off of the year. Recorded at Malaco Studios in Jackson, Mississippi, and released by Stax subsidiary Soul Records, Gene Knight wasn't even supposed to have a hit.
Because you wear all those fancy clothes. Oh,
Her earlier recordings hadn't taken off. But then came this. Aimed squarely at arrogant men, this track dripped with sass, funk, and just enough sweetness to keep you coming back.
oh yeah, than to be fooled around and get hurt by you.
That unforgettable bass line, played by Vernie Robbins, who had just joined the Malaco House Band. Talk about fate. It rocketed to #1 R&B and #2 on the Hot 100.
With this go right there.
And it remains an anthem for every woman who ever rolled her eyes at a player. But as bold as Gene was, the next track took bold to cosmic levels. Number 2, Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me by The Temptations.
Now, the Temptations with their hit recording, Just My Imagination, gentlemen.
The dream that faded too soon. This was the final Temptations single featuring Eddie Kendricks before he left the group.
But it was just my imagination.
And you can feel the bittersweet goodbye in every note. Released by Motown, it was a return to the group's lush ballad roots after a stretch of psychedelic soul. Paul Reiser's orchestration cradles Kendrick's falsetto like a fragile memory.
My plea, don't ever let another take.
What's wild? The song nearly didn't happen. It had been shelved for years until producer Norman Whitfield dusted it off. You hear it, and it's 2 a.m. Street lights glowing, heart heavy, wondering if the one you love even knows your name.
It was just my imagination.
That kind of beautiful pain. It hit #1 across the board and remains one of Motown's most tender triumphs. But trust me, nothing will prepare you for the truth-telling power of what's at #1. #1, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you cry.
The soul cry that changed everything. Marvin Gaye fought tooth and nail with Motown to release this. Berry Gordy hated it, called it uncommercial. But Gaye insisted.
Mother, mother, we don't need you.
And when it dropped in 1971, it didn't just top the R&B charts, it transformed them. Marvin, grieving the loss of his duet partner Tammy Terrell and disillusioned by Vietnam,
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low.
channeled his pain into poetry. Layered vocals, jazz textures, and that iconic groove made it unlike anything Motown had done. Here's a little-known twist. The saxophone intro, an accident during warm-up.
But it thinks we're wrong, so they do.
Marvin heard it and said, leave it in. You can still feel the tension, the beauty, the urgency. It's a song for Sunday mornings and protest marches alike. Named by Rolling Stone as the greatest song of all time, it remains a sacred moment in R&B, proof that soul can change the world. From street corners to smoky clubs, from whispers of love to cries for justice, 1971 gave us R&B at its richest, boldest, and most unforgettable. Thanks for joining us on this soul stroll. Subscribe to keep the groove alive and never miss our next stroll. Up next, 10 R&B songs from 1964 we'll never forget, and let's keep that rhythm rolling.